everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and start your week right as we dive deeper to the mindset of spirit of Thanksgiving. My name is Christian.
And my name is Matt.
We're excited that you are here. So, Matt, in the United States, we're going to celebrate a special holiday this week. What is it?
This week we are celebrating Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving. What do you love about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, like practically how we gather together as a family. We just reflect on the year and just start thanking each other for thanking our families, thanking our friends, being grateful. Gratefulness is basically the core of what Thanksgiving is. Just being grateful and looking back on how the year and overall what you're thankful for.
So good. And let's dive in. So, why is it important that we have a spirit of Thanksgiving? We were talking earlier that when you decide to count your blessings, your life will turn around. Say that one more time. When you decide to count your blessings, your life will turn around. Wow.
That's pretty powerful. And I couldn't disagree more. Like, really, in regards to your life turning around and you having a thankful character, I believe can help shift scenarios in your life where you tend to be ungrateful for the little stuff. And many times we tend to look at elements in our lives where we're like, I don't feel content in what I have. I don't feel like satisfaction or contentment in where I am, what I have, and basically in any scenario where you don't feel the satisfaction and contentment in that area. Once you start thanking and being thankful, even for the little stuff, trust me, your like mindset and your perspective on life in general, you'll feel a lot more content now where you are.
So good, dude. So good. And that's what I love about Thanksgiving, because it's a time to say, oh, wait, it's time to be thankful.
Right.
Which we should be doing it all throughout the year. But I think I'm so happy that we're going over this mindset, a spirit of Thanksgiving. So how can we apply a spirit of Thanksgiving this week? I believe one point is rejoicing. Now, I love what Joyce Meyer said. She said, even though I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Wow. So,
amazing.
Can you please just go deeper into that, my friend?
I can super agree in that element of where sometimes you're not exactly where you want to be, but you look back and you're like, you're not where you used to be.
Yeah.
That is so powerful, because I've seen even in my life personally, like many times I'm like, I'm not exactly where I want to be. I'm not living the life that I desire to live. I don't like exactly what I was just saying a few moments ago. I'm not content. Well, here's the thing. Like, majority of the time I tell people, like, take a step back and look a year ago. Look 2 years ago. Tell me where you were.
Come on.
And they tell me the story, and they're like, they tell me like everything that happened 1 year, 2 years ago. I'm like, see, now you can see like where you are now. Like, tell me, compare that to where you are now. That's how far God has taken you.
Wow.
Maybe you were confused, or you had no idea what your purpose in life was, or you had no idea where in the world to go in general. Like, you don't know who to trust anymore, or where to look to, or even the right friends. Like, who do you surround yourself with, those kinds of stuff. Now you gotta be thankful, like, now I'm surrounded by the right people that have led me towards victory in this area and many different areas. You look back and you're like, God, I was in this moment, I was confused, I was wrecked, and I was broken, but now I look here. Ideally, it may not be where you want to be, but most of the time, I can guarantee you, my friend, it's a leaping forward than where you were 1 or 2 years ago.
So good, dude.
And you gotta be thankful for that, even if it's just the littlest thing. Because if you can learn how to be grateful in the not just grateful but thankful in the little things, the more you'll be super grateful when the big things come in your life.
Woo! Let's go. You know, as you were saying that, I got goosebumps, especially when you were saying when you compare yourself to where you were. That really got me, because sometimes we compare ourselves to somebody else. That's not our journey.
Right.
And I've learned this: comparison is poison.
It is.
And you should never compare your life with somebody else. You should only compare your life with your own life. That's it. And when you look back and see all the things that you've been through and how you came out of it, then you're able to rejoice. Mm-hmm. Another thing, I believe one other practical step is to count your blessings. Now, Matt, how can we count our blessings?
I say a practical way for you to start counting your blessings is, one, start listing it down.
Wow.
Take a journal and basically just practically list down from the small things to the big things. Like, you'll realize, wow, I'm actually more blessed than I could have ever imagined.
Ooh, say that one more time. I'm more what?
I'm more blessed than I have ever imagined.
Yes.
As you start writing those down, you will start realizing that even the simple things like I'm thankful that I have food on my table. I'm thankful that I have a roof under my shelf. I'm thankful that I have AC during the summer, or whatever that may be. Like, just those little things, bare little things that pile up. As you start writing those down, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're like,
wow,
I'm actually more blessed than I imagined. Because
I love it, dude. Wow.
Once you count your blessings, count it from the smallest things to the biggest things. Because sometimes we only focus on the big things. We're trying to think about the big things only strictly. That's the reason why you feel like you're not content or you're not satisfied what you have, because you're looking only at the big things. You're not looking at the small things, because perspective is like, I don't have enough blessings, because you're only looking at the big things.
Wow.
The big things may not be a lot, but the small things are a lot, to the point where it's big. You got big blessings. Wow. So that's my
so good
there.
My gosh. And it's so true, because when you write things down, you realize that you are more blessed than what you think.
Yep.
And I want to encourage you that if you're listening to this, it's not by accident. You are more blessed than what you think. And now is the time to have a spirit of thanksgiving. How? Rejoice. Another thing, count your blessings. What my friend Matt said, totally true. Journal it down. Write it down. And when you choose to write it down, you find out that you have more things than what you realize. You have more things than what you realize. You are blessed, my friends. There's so many things to be grateful for. So, Matt, in closing, spirit of Thanksgiving, what else you would like to say?
I would say this week, as you go into your family tables, you guys have lunch or dinner together, however you guys spend Thanksgiving, whether that's like at the home or you guys are on vacation or wherever that may be. I just challenge you this week, as you look back on 2021 in general, like, what can you be thankful for this year? Just know that, number one, God has brought you farther than you could have ever imagined from where you were 1 or 2 years ago,
Come on.
3 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how that may look for you. Take a step back and just reflect. It's not a bad thing to reflect on the past, even though it may have been not a good past or whatnot. But by you taking that step, you get to acknowledge in your heart and your soul that, and then you look at now, you're like, God, you're actually so good to me. Because I was broken, I was messed up, I was addicted, whatever that may be, and now you look at your present time, that you didn't even realize God is taking you this far. You don't realize how far God has taken you until you take a step back.
Wow.
So reflect on that.
I love it. So my friends, thank you for joining us. So start your week right with a spirit of Thanksgiving and watch what God will do.